Hello, everybody, and welcome back here up at BSN Network. Today is when I'm recording this. Today is Monday, April 18th. This is a pre-recorded video, so it will be up on Tuesday, April 19th. So when you're watching this will be Tuesday, April 19th. It is a pre-recorded video. I'm recording this just a little bit before the not the Boston Celtics, a little bit before the Toronto Raptors and Philadelphia 76ers game 2 of their series. Sixers look to go up 2-0. Raptors look to avoid 2-0 deficit before they head up to Toronto for games 3 and 4. So we're recording it a little bit before that game. This will be up, like I said, on Tuesday when I'm recording this. This is Monday, so it's a pre-recorded video. The other video is up already. I got uploaded that about an hour or two ago. So that's all up and all ready to go there for those of you who are interested in watching it if you haven't already. But today's going to be a very quick pre-recorded episode because I want to get this done, and I want to go watch the Raptors 76ers game. I was going to do the scorebook for the Mets game, but the game got postponed. So due to the weather, they'll be having a doubleheader tomorrow, 3:10 Eastern, and I think the regular 7 o'clock start. So they'll be back in action tomorrow, along with the Yankees as well, which when you're watching this will be today, because when this is up, it's going to be Tuesday, April 19th. So it's going to be a quick video today. I'm going to try to keep it within the range of 15-20 minutes, not go anything crazy. Don't want to do an extremely long one since it's getting later, and I want to watch the Raptors 76ers game 2, and then a little bit later on tonight, we also got the Warriors and the Nuggets game 2, which should be a fun one to watch. We'll see if Jordan Poole can have another big game like he did in game 1. But let's get to the topics for today's podcast for this pre-recorded episode. We're going to talk about one topic today. I know in the episode I posted on Monday, it was 2 topics. We're going to go back to 1 today, and we're going to get to Denzel Ward and the extension that the Browns gave him. This is a very big extension. It's an NFL record. It's the highest paid cornerback in NFL history. He has made it clear he wants to stay in Cleveland, and he has made it clear that the Browns have obviously made it clear that they want him as well. So the Browns extend Denzel Ward to a massive, historic 5-year, $100.5 million contract extension. I will tell you why this is a very high-risk move for the Browns. A little bit of an overpay, but the reward could be very, very big for the Cleveland Browns. We'll get to that to open up the show as our main topic today. And then we'll finish off the podcast, as usual, with the New York sports update. Like I mentioned, on Tuesday, today, we'll have the Rangers and the Jets, and we'll have the Isles and the Panthers. Nets will be back in action on Wednesday, as I've mentioned a lot, and the Yankees will be in action. First game of a 3-game set against the Tigers, and the Mets will have a doubleheader, 3:10 Eastern and 7:10 Eastern, or 7 Eastern against the Giants. Obviously, the game got postponed on Monday, so they'll be back in action. When you're watching this, it will be Tuesday, so that being today, they'll be back in action there as well. So we'll see what they can do. Yankees looking to go out of it. And by the way, I just saw a picture online that was posted by one of the Yankee beat reporters, I guess, that's in Detroit with the team. And they posted a picture outside their hotel room, and Comerica Park, you can't even see it. You can only see, like, the lights. It's snowing. It is snowing in Detroit right now, and I looked up the weather. It is snowing in Detroit, and first pitch today, when you're watching this on Tuesday, April 19th, is going to be 45 degrees, and it's going to feel like 37. So Garrett Cole and company there with the Yankees are going to have to really bundle up, and it's going to be cold, and it's going to be a cold one. It's going to be, that's what you call April baseball. That is April baseball right there. 45 degrees, 37 degrees what it feels like, and I'm sure as the night goes on, it will get a whole lot colder, and it'll feel a whole lot colder. So Yankees went from the nice weather on Sunday in Baltimore to 40 degrees and snowing in Detroit. So definitely going to be an interesting series there. But a lot to get to in a short amount of time here. We're going to talk about Denzel Ward and get going with this pre-recorded episode today. That will be up on Tuesday, April 19th. So with that being said, this is BSN Podcast, and let's get right into it. All right, so we had a record-breaking contract today in the NFL. Denzel Ward and the Browns have agreed to a 5-year, $100.5 million contract extension, making him the highest-paid cornerback in NFL history. So the Browns go out and break the bank for Denzel Ward as this wild NFL offseason goes on. We obviously always know how the offseason goes. You obviously have the first wave, which is amazing, crazy. Then it kind of pauses. Then you have free agency. And then you kind of pauses, and now you have the draft. And every once in a while, you see a little bit of a big deal here and there. And we got that today with the Browns going out and extending Denzel Ward here a couple weeks before the draft. And look, the Browns still have a lot of decisions to make. They obviously went out and got Deshaun Watson. The whole suspension situation surrounding him has not been ironed out yet. We don't know how many games, if he's going to get suspended. He is, but we don't know how many. Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 6? Is it going to be 8? What's it going to be? There's a lot of things surrounding the Cleveland Browns, with Watson, and what are they going to do with Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield has pretty much said, goodbye, I'm done, I'm leaving. He's just waiting for the Browns to trade him, and are the Browns going to trade him? Or the Browns going to keep him maybe as a backup, and then, until Deshaun Watson's ready to go from his suspension? There's so many things surrounding the Browns. There's so many different, there's so many different issues surrounding them, surrounding the team. There's obviously a lot of controversy around them trading for Deshaun Watson with everything that has gone on with him. But obviously one thing that has remained constant for the Cleveland Browns, and that is trying to keep Denzel Ward, and they have done that today. So through all the outside noise, through all of the other situations going on with, the quarterback situation, to the front office going out, making the trade at first for Watson, whatever side you stand on it, if you stand on a side, whatever it is, that's a different story, different day. I've talked about it. I gave you my opinion on the deal. I talked about, what he can do for the Browns and what Deshaun Watson can bring to the table in Cleveland. But with all that being said, the Browns have made a massive, massive agreement. They've went out and extended, like I mentioned, Denzel Ward to a 5-year, $100.5 million contract. And yet again, it's another record-breaking contract. And we've seen a lot of these, the past couple seasons. We've seen a lot of these this offseason. We've seen a lot of these recently where the bar just continues to get higher and higher and higher and higher of what guys want, what players are going to look for. And with this deal here, I can guarantee you guys like, Jalen Ramsey, guys like, Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore. I'm sure a lot of these guys down the road or even soon are going to want big deals like this, are going to want Zaire Alexander. Guys are going to want big deals like this because now Denzel Ward has kind of set the standard for new contracts. And that's kind of how it is. It's like a game. One guy gets the record breaking, then another guy's going to break it. Then another guy's going to break it. It's whoever can, get to the highest and get to the top of the mountain and have the highest contract, I guess, come week 1. I guess that's the biggest deal. But really kind of a surprise move here because I did not see this coming. I don't think many people did. My first reaction to this is it's a very risky move if you're the Cleveland Browns. And I get it, and you talk about the positives, Denzel Ward's a very good player. If you just want to start off with that, Denzel Ward's a very good player. When he's out there, he's a playmaker. He's 24 years old. He's young. He fits into the defense. He's the leader of that secondary. He's one of the better corners in the league when he's healthy and when he's out there, he can be one of the more threatening guys. Is he reached his max potential yet? No, he's still developing. He's still getting better. He's 24 years old. He's got a lot of years left. So that's a positive. Is it $100.5 million? Is it $100.5 million worth it? I don't know. And my biggest concern, and when these contract talks kind of took place a little bit last year, because last year, if you don't remember, I believe they franchise tagged Denzel Ward, or it was either the year before that. I remember doing a podcast on it, about it. And I remember doing a podcast on it. I forget exactly what it was on, but it was something about his contract, and it was just something about him and the Cleveland Browns. And I remember kind of that debate of whether or not you give Denzel Ward the big-time money. Do you give him the big-time cash? Do you kind of wait back and see what he can do? He's kind of been hurt. He played 12 games back-to-back years in a row. It's kind of one of those iffy situations, but the Browns have obviously made the decision to go out and sign him. And like I said, I'm not doubting his ability to cover. I'm not doubting his ability in coverage. I'm not doubting his ability to make tackles, open field tackling, defending passes, being good in man, being good in zone, ultimately fitting into what the defense is, fitting into the Browns defense, because he has done that in the first couple years of his career. It's not like it's an age issue. The biggest concern and the biggest reason why I think this is a little bit of an overpay for a guy who is very young and for a guy who's been hurt is the fact that he has not been able to stay healthy in his career yet. And I know last season he was able to stay healthy a little bit more, but he has not played a full season at all yet. Through his first 4 years of his career, he has not played he's not played every game of any season. His first year he played 13 games. His second year he played 12 games. Third season he played 12 games, and most recently this past season he played 15 games. So he has not played at all in any season. His first 3 years, he did not play any 16-game seasons, and obviously last year with the one extra week, he did not play 17 games. That is a concern to me. And specifically looking at 2019 and 2020, where he missed 4 games, 8 games combined in those 2 years due to injuries. And that's a big concern, because if you want to go out and give a guy a ton of money, a lot of time people look at, and like I said, on the 28th, he's going to be 25, so he's still very young. But a lot of times when people look at, contracts, we talk about the Aaron Judge contract. We talk about health. We talk about, can a guy stay healthy? Because if a guy can't stay healthy, and a guy's going to play 12 games a year for you every year and miss 5-6 games, and maybe miss some big games, some big division games or miss playoff games, and you're paying him all that money, that's a big, big, big gamble to take if you're an organization. And obviously the Browns feel confident taking that gamble. Now, he did play the most games he has in a season in his career last year. He played 15. The second most was 13. And then obviously in 2019 and 2020, he played 12 both those years. But it's been the injuries. Like I said, I'm not doubting his talent. I'm not doubting his ability to play. He's a great player. He's excellent. He's probably their best corner. He's one of their best defenders. Maybe him, outside of Myles Garrett, he probably is. He's an excellent player. He's a guy to build around in the secondary. But I think it's a little too early to give him this kind of deal just because of his injury history and the fact that he's still very young. So he's still got a lot of time developing. You feel like, if you waited another year or so, because it wasn't like, Denzel Ward was pushing to get something done. I think he wanted to get something done, but it wasn't like he was forcing, it wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm not going to play or do this or that. Because for a guy that has not been on a field as much as you would want him to his first 4 years, it is definitely a big gamble to take. Giving a guy a massive deal for the majority of his career so far has not been completely healthy. So Browns are obviously okay with taking the gamble. And now they got a big contract with Deshaun Watson. And you get another big contract now with Denzel Ward. You put those together, Browns are paying a lot of money for their high-tier players. So they're obviously going out. They obviously are trying to keep as much talent as they can, build up talent, bring in as much talent with Deshaun Watson. Obviously, they're trying to keep and maintain as much talent with the extension now of Denzel Ward. But I think this is a very high-risk move. It's got a very high ceiling and a high reward, because the sky's the limit for Denzel Ward. I mean, if this guy can stay healthy, if this guy can play, if this guy can play every game, if this guy can play pretty much every game, or at least 60. Like I said, last season he missed 2 games, so it wasn't crazy. But the 3 years before that, he wasn't on the field consistently. If this guy can play consistently, and when he's out there consistently, he's one of the better young corners in football. And he's shown that over and over again. I mean, this season yet again, he's had 43 total tackles. He had a half a sack, which is most he's ever had. He's not a big sack guy, but he had 3 interceptions, which is his career high for a season. He also had that in a rookie year. He had 10 passes that defended. He had a really good season and a really, really, really solid year for him. But a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of an overpay at this point in his career to give him $100.5 million and make him the highest paid corner. Is he really the best cornerback in football? I wouldn't say so. Is he one of the better younger cornerbacks in football? Definitely. Does he have potential to become one of the best? Given that he's 24 years old, I mean, he'll be 25 in in about a week or two, April 28th, but still 25 when the season starts. Does he have potential? Yes. But he hasn't been healthy. He hasn't been very healthy. Hasn't been on the field consistently. And is he really up there with Jalen Ramsey and some of the better ones? I wouldn't say right now. So, like I said, I think this deal, it's a high risk. Now, your high risk is he can't stay healthy and it's just not working. And that very well so far throughout the first 4 years of his career has been an issue for him. Last season it was better, but still, You'd like to see him you'd like to see him get a full 17-game season under his belt. I think that'd give you a big confidence boost if you're the Cleveland Browns to see him get a full 17-game season without any hiccups under his belt and, full postseason and all that stuff if the Browns can get there. So, like I said, high-risk deal, very high risk, because a lot of times when we talk about deals, we talk about health. And can a guy stay healthy? Is he healthy? Denzel Ward health's been an issue early on. If he can stay healthy and he's out there consistently, this deal can definitely be big for the Browns. But if he can't stay healthy and he's not out there consistently, it could blow up right in their face. So I think it was slightly too early to I think it was early to pull the trigger on Jalen, or not Jalen. I don't know why I was going to say, I don't know what I was thinking. I think it's a little too early to pull the trigger on Denzel Ward. I think he probably, if they would have played out this year and played out this season and see what he could have done and then give him a deal. But highest paid corner money for a guy that has had trouble staying on the field, like I said, I think it's just too risky for me to really like it. So, not a huge fan of the deal, but without a doubt, definitely could work. It's just there's too many possible holes to the deal right now for me to officially say that it's perfectly safe. Does it definitely have a lot of potential? Yes. But does it definitely have a lot of potential to blow up right in the Browns' face? Yeah. But like I said, he's one of the better young cornerbacks in football. But is he 5-year, $100.5 million highest paid cornerback in the league worthy? I wouldn't say just yet. Could he very well be there in a year or 2 or 3? Definitely. But right now, I think the Browns might have jumped the gun a little bit on the deal. So, but when he's healthy, I've said it, he's a very good cornerback. But now, that bar now for other guys is definitely set higher. Because now you got to get to that bar. You want to be the highest paid guy. You want to be that top guy in the league. All right, so let's read this quick article here. Denzel Ward is staying with the only NFL team he has never known for the foreseeable future. The cornerback and the Cleveland Browns have agreed to a 5-year, $100.5 million extension with $71.5 million guaranteed, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. That will make Ward the highest paid cornerback in league history. He told reporters last June his agent had discussed the contract extension with the Browns. In a perfect world, I definitely want to be a Brown for my entire career, he said. The 24-year-old's contract was set to expire after the 2022 season following Cleveland's decision to exercise the 5th-year option for $13.3 million. Like I said, I think I personally would have let him play out this year and then go all out. Because if he wants to be in Cleveland and at the end of this season you would have given him top dollar, he would have stayed. So it's not really a big difference. I think that would have probably been the safer option, but the Browns decided to go the little bit of a risky route and get him locked up sooner, which is definitely more risky. The Browns selected him out of Ohio State with the number 4 overall pick of the 2018 NFL Draft, and he made an immediate impact. He was a Pro Bowler as a rookie with 53 tackles, 3 interceptions, 11 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 forced fumble, establishing himself as the team's top corner. Ward played 12 games in 2019 and again in 2020, tallying 2 picks in each year. He posted a career-best 18 passes defended in 2020 for the playoff-bound Browns. While Ward wasn't quite dominant and consistent playmaker, he was a rookie. Pro Football Focus gave him a solid grade of 72.8 in 2020. He compiled 43 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 10 passes defended last year en route to his second Pro Bowl appearance. It is no surprise that Cleveland looked to keep him aboard. He can defend the opponent's best wide receiver with impressive speed and the ability to play physically if needed. His presence is also key in a division with notable quarterbacks such as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and he allows the defense to play single coverage and put more pressure on passers with Myles Garrett and company up front. Ward figures to remain a key part of a young nucleus for a franchise that's looking to rebound from a disappointing 2021 season. Cornerbacks around the league are likely thanking Ward for resetting the market and raising the price tag for elite players at the position. So, Denzel Ward gets the big extension. Yeah. All right. All right. So, I was just looking more into the numbers. Like I said, this season he had, 43 total tackles? This season he had 34 solo tackles, 43 total, 3 picks, 10 pass defended. He had 18 in 2020, 18 pass defended in 2020, which is just remarkable. That's one-on-one. That's very good. This year dropped off a little bit. It was actually a career low in pass defended to 10. But he was up in the interceptions category. So you take it with whatever you want, wherever you want to go with it. But in his career, he's played 52 games, 186 total tackles, 151 solo tackles, 35 assists, half a sack, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 35 yards on his interceptions. Actually, 35 yards, and it looks like 190 reception yards. I don't know. He's had 10 career interceptions, 2 touchdowns on those interceptions, and he's had 50 passes defended in his 4 seasons. And so that's his career. Like I said, I think it's definitely risky. Do I think he's? I don't think. No, I don't. Personally, I don't think he's worth number 1. I don't think he's worth highest paid cornerback money. I don't. Right now, could that change in 2 to 3 years? Maybe, but he's got to show that he can stay healthy. He's got to show that he can really turn into that elite force. He's definitely getting there, but I don't think he's there just yet. But he can definitely keep improving and getting better. But for the Browns' sake, remove the money from it. For the Browns' sake, they get him locked up for the next 5 years, which is big for them because he's a big piece of their defense. So, all right, so let's get to the New York sports update and finish things off here. Like I said, it was going to be a short podcast today. I didn't want to make a very, very long one. 76ers and Raptors game started. So when you're watching this, it doesn't mean anything, but the 76ers are up right now 20-18 with 3:49 to go in the first. So missing a little bit, but I'll definitely watch that game after I'm done here. Anyway, as for basketball games on Tuesday night, we got the Heat and the Hawks. I'll take the Heat. Grizzlies, Timberwolves. I think the Grizzlies bounce back, and I think the Suns, Pelicans. I think the Suns are going to smoke that series. As for the NHL, we got the Maple Leafs and the Flyers, Lightning, Red Wings, Canadians, Wild, Islanders, Panthers, Bruins, Blues, Predators, Flames, Kings, Ducks, Senators, Canucks, Sharks, Blue Jackets. We got the Jets and the Rangers. Rangers come into this one 49-21-6. Jets come into this one 35-30-11. Over/under set at 6, 7 p.m. Eastern on MSG. I'll take the Rangers. And like I said, baseball, you got the Nationals, Diamondbacks, Guardians, White Sox, Marlins, Cardinals, Nationals, Diamondbacks as well, doubleheader. Blue Jays, Red Sox, Pirates, Brewers, Rays, Cubs, Astros, Angels, Twins, Royals, Rockies, Phillies, Orioles, A's, Mariners, Rangers, Padres, Reds, and the Dodgers, Braves, which should be good there. First game of the Mets series, first game of the Mets will be Logan Webb and Max Scherzer. Second game, or I believe first game will be Tyler McGill, and I think whoever was the other pitcher, Tyler Cobb, I think, or whatever his name was, or whatever his name was. And then for the second game, it will be Scherzer and Logan Webb, I believe. So, Yankees as well. Yankees are 5-5. Tigers are 4-5. It will be Garrett Cole versus Alexander. That game 6:40 p.m. Eastern on Bally Sports Detroit. You can also find it on Over Under, by the way, set at 8. You can also find it on Yes Network. Let me find this pitcher's full name. Who is this? I've never even heard of this guy. Tyler Alexander. Never heard of the guy. 5.06 ERA. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts this season. So maybe the Yankees bats come alive for that. I don't know. So that's that. And then we got the fantasy baseball. That's going to be kind of tough to read. At the moment when I'm doing this on Monday night, it's 8-8 or 9-9. So that's that. And then it's 9-9. I left 9 points on my bench. That hurts. And then in my other league, it's 3-0. So not much going on right now. Mondays are always slow in fantasy baseball. Mondays are always slow because it's usually always a slow day on Mondays. Because there's usually not many games. Because it's But one league, main league, I'm 9-9 because there's usually it's your travel day. Mondays and Thursdays are usually the slowest because Mondays are the days off and the travel days coming out of the weekend, and Thursdays are usually the travel days because you'll have the series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you'll have a series possibly into Friday, or you'll have a series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or you could have a series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or you could have a 4-game set. So Mondays and Thursdays usually are your main days off. Wednesdays too sometimes if you have like an interleague series and it goes from like a Monday and a Tuesday, it's just like a 2-day series, and then Wednesday's like a day off. But other than that, like Fridays, really very rarely see a day off. Unless if it's like I said, you sometimes see a day off on Friday if it's like a 4-game set, Monday through Thursday, then you have a day off on Friday, then like you have an interleague where it's like like Yankees-Phillies last year. I was actually at the Saturday game. Well, they'll play a Saturday and a Sunday game. It's a 2-game set instead of a 3. They'll play 2 games. So that's when you'll see like a day off on a Friday, because they travel or host a team. You never see days off on Saturday unless if it's a rain out. Never see days off on a Sunday unless if it's a rain out or something to that effect. But Mondays are always slower because you obviously have all the guys taking the days off. Or the team's taking the days off. So Yankees had a day off today. Mets ended up not playing. Left 9 points on my bench because I just didn't. Not that I forgot. It's just I didn't forget to do my lineup. It's just I didn't even think about putting Christian Vasquez into my utility spot. He had 9 points for me on my bench. And I didn't even think about putting him in my utility spot. Like, I had Jonathan India there, and I didn't even think about putting, because I saw Real Muto was catching, I didn't even think about putting Christian Vasquez in my utility spot, so now he's in there. But anyway, that will do it. I gotta wrap this up. Wanted it to be about 15, 20 minutes, 27 minutes. So I gotta wrap this up. That will do it for another podcast, pre-recorded. So this, when I'm doing this, it will be Monday. When it's up, it will be Tuesday. So as always, I'll see you all back here tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.